All right, we're out of here at Don Losole's house. I saw him, man, 3 years ago, and they're at a place now where they're a little bit more serious about doing the work. So we come out here to take a peek. We're going to be doing siding, well, potentially doing siding replacement. We're going to do a very conservative tear off, only tearing off where we need to. So it would consist of the siding. We're doing a James Hardie fascia overlay. The drip edge is staying because of the metal drip cap. It looks like a somewhat recent roof. So the drip edge and drip cap that is part of the roofing is staying. We're just doing a fascia overlay, painting the soffit, getting rid of some guttering that's up here now, and we can give them a gutter referral. That's pretty much our scope of work. We'll start over here since we have a nice clean view of it. This side is a really good candidate for overlay. Just need to nail this back a little bit, but there's no rotting or anything else. Of course, Hardie wrap goes on over this. Then we do the trim, all this window trim, corner trim, any transition trim from rock to siding would all be Hardie plank. So everything to the exterior exposure, including the gable vent wraps, there's a couple of those. All of that will be Hardie plank 1x4 material instead of this kind of 1x2, probably cedar stuff that's on there now. So overlay on this side is kind of what we'll do here. We are removing this, and then of course fascia overlay all the way around, paint the soffit all the way around. And on the front here, basically these first couple courses right here on each of the dormers will be torn off because they're kind of curling and starting to deteriorate. So those two will come off, but everything above that will stay as the substrate. We'll do, of course, fascia overlay, paint the soffit on the two dormers, and then everything under the porch ceiling will be painted, including kind of these little scrolly things that are in between the rock columns. So that'll all be done. We have 2 pair of shutters that would be painted. So both of these guys and those guys would be painted. We're also going to paint the front door and side light, and then painting the 2 garage doors over here, including wrapping those garage door frames in the Hardie plank material. And you can kind of see gutters are thrashed. There's no way they're going back up. So those need to come down, just be disposed. Here's the porch ceiling. So that'll all be painted, of course. And then garage doors will be painted. And then the frame, actually wrapping on both garage doors, would be overlaid in Hardie. Gotta take extra special care of my boy Don here because he's a Dodger fan, as you can tell from the truck. So we gotta preserve the brotherhood here of Dodger fans. Up here, when I came out last time, this was in bad shape, and big surprise, it's not gotten any better. So this is a full tear off up here. This is all going bye-bye. We'll resheathe the wall with 7/16 inch OSB, Hardie wrap, trim, and then siding from there. The whole house, before we had a Select Sierra 8 on the sides and back, and just the front was the Cedar Mill Select. We're going now to the whole house Cedar Mill Select, all the horizontal kind of looking like this, and getting away from this vertical sheet siding, which I think is a great call. But this full tear off up here, no questions about it. That all has to be torn off. It's way too gone to be used as a overlay. This gable, however, is in great shape. So this is definitely a great candidate for overlay. We'll just wrap the gable vent in Hardie 1x4. This little section of gutter go bye-bye. We got 2 areas of fascia rot, one there and one here. Those both have to be repaired before we do our fascia overlay. And then up here, gable vent and the window will be trimmed in 1x4 instead of that 1x2. And everywhere that we see this, paint the soffit. So caulk and seal any of the joints. There is one area right here. Well, you can see it in the video, but there's a little 4-foot section of soffit there that's fallen down. So that needs to be retacked, caulked and sealed, and then we can paint all that. Whew, man, it's getting cold. So we come around to the back, maybe. secret password in case you guys need to use that later. So again, we can see this gable, great condition. Up there, not so much. You can just see where the moisture's seeping through, and that needs to go away. So all this will be gone. Tear off, and then the Hardie plank. Everything else back here is in good shape for an overlay, minus the chimney. We'll get rid of this little 1x4 trim board down at the bottom. That's just probably covering up some rotten edge anyways. And then of course all windows back here and door will be retrimmed with Hardie 1x4, which will look a lot nicer than this little 1x2 stuff, and it's pretty rotted and deteriorated anyways. But here you go, here's a good example of the transition trim, the 1x4 from the rock to the siding. That would be Hardie plank as well. All this guttering again will go away. We'll tear that down and get rid of it. And then as you can see everywhere else, like I said, really good candidate for overlay on the chimney. Really don't like overlaying chimneys. So we're gonna do a full tear off on the chimney just to make sure that there's no rot in there and that we're not covering up anything that shouldn't be covered up. All this corner trim, so there's two corner trim, all the way up. Plus on the back side, all of that will become Hardie 1x4, and then we can get rid of this little 1x2 that's basically just covering up the seams in the board. We can get rid of that, and it'll just be all flush lap siding back here, which will look really nice. And that's really it. Again, there's some places here on the chimney that are rotted, which again, just, you know, some rot right here, that whole area right here. So it just doesn't make sense to leave it on. It's too much of a liability when you're talking about Hardie plank that's going to be, you know, used for, you know, Hardie plank that's going to be on for a lifetime. I don't know whose dog this is. Yeah, that's what we got going on here. And so the chimney will be full tear off, and then all this becomes Hardie plank, and we already looked at the side. So that's what we got. Look forward to working with y'all, Don, and it was great catching up today, man. Go Dodgers.